Hi, how are you doing? Now is the time to build our portfolio. Before I start, I suggest you watch the previous videos if you haven't done it yet. Here I assume that I have bought some stocks and would like to add its information into the system. At the right side of the screen, you see the information. For the sake of simplicity, I consider a single security, in this case Tesla Incorporation, but usually a portfolio contains several securities. Let's say on 4th of December 2020, I bought 10 shares with market price 488 euros per share. And altogether, I paid this amount, around 5,000 euros, which is equal to the price of the stocks that I bought plus the fee that I have paid to the bank. Later, on 11th of February 2022, I sold half of them, so 5 shares, with a higher price, 761 euros per share. And in my bank account, I received this amount, 3,400 euros, which is equal to the 3,800 euros, the price of those 5 shares, minus the tax, 25% of the profit that I had with this transaction, and the fee that I have paid to the bank. But this is not all. On 19th of August 2022, I received a document saying that Tesla Incorporation has split its shares into 3 pieces. That means whoever had 1 share of this company at this date will receive 3 shares instead, but with lower price. And the price is divided by the split increase value. So if split increase value is 3, the new price will be 3 times less. You can see it in the diagram better. In blue, we see the prices of Tesla shares. These prices are the actual prices at those times. By actual, I mean the real prices that people have paid and received by buying or selling those stocks. And interestingly, we see 2 big drops in this diagram. And those correspond to the split increase events. But when you usually look at the prices in the internet, so if you search in the internet Tesla stock price, you will find this orange diagram, which is the adjusted price. And adjusted price means that it is adjusted for all the corporate actions like split increase, split decrease or so. So if you search on this date, the 4th of December 2020, for the price of Tesla Incorporation, you will find some value around 100 something euros or maybe dollars, 160 or so. And that is 3 times less than this value because at this date and in August 19th, Tesla has done a split increase and this has changed their prices, but you don't see it. So, but indeed, what has happened to your portfolio will look like this because this is actually what you have bought, what you have paid, and what has totally happened. So we need to insert all this information into the system. Let's see how we do it. By the way, you may wonder what's the reason behind stock split and why should a company attempt to do it? The reason is that the companies would like to control the liquidity of their equity. When they do their business well, their share price grows, so it becomes less liquid. Vice versa, if they don't do well, the price drops. So they may decide to fuse their shares. It is called split decrease. Good. I go to the Securities tab, and as expected, it is empty because my portfolio is yet empty. Then I click on this plus icon, which is Add Security, and what I need to do is to search for a stock. In this case, I want to search for Tesla Incorporation. It's better to give a single name. So I won't write Tesla Incorporation, just Tesla. And then let's search. And as you see, we have found a few securities. If we look at the hint to the things that we have found, the first term is the symbol. The symbol is a unique ID for these securities in order to distinguish them from each other. It's not easy to find the right security from their symbol. So let's look at their name. So the second term is the name. And as you see, the name is Tesla Incorporation for many of the securities that the system has found. The third term is an important term, and that is the type of the security. The type in our case should be a stock. A stock is an equity. And as you see, all of them are equity, so we are fine. The next term is the region, and after that comes the currency. The region is the region of the stock exchange, and the currency depends on the region as well. So if it is in the United States, the currency is US dollars. If it is stock exchange Zetra in Europe, the currency is euro. You may have realized that my transactions were denominated in euro, so most probably I have bought my stock from a European market. Let's assume that I have bought it from Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Then in this case, I would prefer to choose this one. This is the most important step, by the way, choosing the right security. If I choose it wrong, that means the prices will be wrong for this security. And then all of the transactions that I will write are based on what has happened indeed to my security, but this is not the security that I want. So the system will find some wrong prices and everything will be wrong then. So no, you cannot then trust the analysis. Then you should be sure that the stock or the security that you choose here is your desired security. So let's say for this case, our desired security is the third one. I click on create and go to the next page where I can give more information about my security. For example, I can choose a region and an industrial sector for that. These are important for our analysis when we want to see how our portfolio is diversified in terms of geographical regions or industrial sectors. For the Tesla, I choose North America because the company resides in USA, and the sector is industrials because they produce electric cars, so it is industrials. And you can put more information like ISIN or WKN, but it's not important. So just click Save. We have successfully added this security to our system. But before we add its transactions, we need to make sure that this is the correct security that we really wanted. So if I click on the symbol here, you see I hover over it and then we find it is actually a hyperlink which directs me to the security details. And this is essentially the details that we have seen before. But this part is important, and that is the price timeline. If I click on the price timeline, I should find the correct prices. So you should, after adding a security, you should come to this panel and see if the prices are as you expect. So I click on the adjusted price here to hide it, and I zoom further to the diagram to see it better. And it seems that this is the correct security that I had. You should always make sure that you have the correct security. Now we can add the transactions. I go here and click on the plus add transaction here. Here I need to give a security to my transaction, and as you know, we only have a single security in our portfolio. This is our first security, so here I find one security, but this should include all the securities and you should choose from those securities. And that is why before you add a transaction, you need to have a security. Otherwise, you cannot create a transaction. Then here I need to choose the 4th of December 2020. 4th of December 2020. And then I need to choose the transaction type, which is buy transaction. And the currency is euro. Choose euro here, and when I choose the date, I see the price. So I see the price is 488, and this is also 488. So they they are kind of equal. And this gives you a measure of whether you have chosen the right security. And if you see here different prices, that means most probably your security is not a correct security. Then you should go back, delete your security, and find the correct one, and then come back here and add your transaction. So here I add 10 shares. I put 10 shares. And then in the net amount field, I need to add the actual amount that I have paid. So it is written in the hint, net amount paid. It means the amount taken from your bank account. And the amount taken from my bank account is 4,930 euros. These are optional fields, the fees and taxes, but you can fill them. And in this case, I have this 50 fee. And as you see, by adding this 50 fee, I see the gross amount, which only corresponds to the real price of the stocks, is 4,880 is equal to that one. And I can add a transaction to this. You can add, for example, a transaction number, which is the number of the document you have received from your bank. Let's say I just give some number. Let's say this is the number of your transaction that you can find in your bank account. Then I save it. Let's add the second transaction. Now we see our added transaction here. We see also the comment that we have given. If I hover over it, I see transaction number something. And I click on this plus button again. I choose my security. In this case, it is already chosen. There is only a single security in the list. And I need to choose 11 of February 2022. So February 11 of February 2022. And then it is a sell transaction. The currency is euro. Again, the price per share should match the price per share that I see in the documents from my bank, and that's exactly the same or kind of the same. They should not be exactly the same because the price changes per day, and the prices that Investophilia takes is the close prices of that day. So it is the last price of the day. But you may have bought it in the beginning of the day or in the middle of the day. That means the price here is not necessarily equal to the price that you see there, but they are kind of in the same order. So if it is 761, it is 761 point some cents, or maybe it is 720. So maybe during the day it has changed a lot, but it's not like crazily different. So they should be kind of close to each other. And then I add here 5 shares because I want to add a sell transaction with 5 shares. This is 5 shares. And again here in the net amount, I need to write down the amount that I have received in my bank account. So this is the amount that you receive or either receive or pay. This is what happens to your bank account. So here, you don't need to add a negative value, by the way, here. So if you say sell, this is the price that you receive in your bank account. So 3,434 euros. You pay 30 euros fee and 341 euros tax. So everything should be positive here. You shouldn't give any negative number there. And as you see, the gross amount, which should be the real price of your security, of your stocks that you sell, as you see here, this is the correct amount. And again, here I can give another transaction number or just some comments. I just add in one comment. So let's say dummy. Or you just leave it empty. Let me leave it empty. And then I save it. Let's add the last transaction and we are done with this video. So again, security Tesla, and it should be 19th of August. 19th of August. 2022. August 19th. And it should be in euro because my transaction is in euro. You see it already here. So when I put 19th of December, 19th of August, the price is 295. It's close to 300 euros. If I put here 18, let me try it. Put 18, it becomes 900. So you see actually this jump. Then I give back this 19, and I didn't receive any value. I just put 0 here. But how many shares did I receive? So here you should put how many shares you have received. Oh, by the way, so the most important thing I just forgot, and that is the transaction type. In the transaction type, you should choose split increase because this is a split increase transaction. So you put a split increase transaction, and then here you see in the hint it says number of shares gained as a result of the split. So how many shares you had in your portfolio? You had 10, you sold 5. That means you had 5 shares. And there is a stock split 3. That means you should have 15 shares. So 5 times 3, 15. That means 10 shares have been added to your portfolio. So I here write 10. I don't write here 15, I write 10. And then nothing has happened. So no fees, no amount paid or received. That's it. I just say corporate action number 2. This is just some comment that helps you find out your transaction better. So I save it. And that's it. We added all of our securities. As you see, each security takes a serial number. And we can see in the transactions timeline panel what has happened to us. So this amount we have paid. If I hover over it, you see the amount that I have paid. So minus 4,930. So minus means that it went out of my bank account, and then I sold it. It came back to my bank account, so I received it. And finally, you see this is unrealized value. This is the value of today. Today is 20th of January, and you see here, I just imagine that today is 20th of January because now I'm filming this video on 20th of January. These are the transactions belonging to our security. If I want to see all of my transactions, I just click on the Transactions tab, and then I will see the full list of my transactions belonging to all of my securities. For our scenario, because we have a single security, those two lists are the same. If I click on the serial number of each of those securities, I can also see more details about them, and I can edit them here. Okay, let's go to the analysis page to see what the analytical figures look like for this scenario. We see here that the gross value is calculated to be around 2,000 US dollars. US dollar is my portfolio currency, if you remember from the previous videos. So everything is converted to that currency and shown to me. And the net value is a little bit less than the gross value because I need to pay those expenses like fees and taxes. And we see that for the unrealized part of my assets, of my portfolio, my internal rate of return is actually negative, around minus 30%. But for the realized part, as you know, we gained around 40%. So let's drill down and see what we find there. So I just select the only security that I have here, and I click on the overview. And here we see, as we expected, for the part that we sold, we gained 40%. And for the part that we still have, we it seems that we have lost yet around minus 30%. So if we look at the investment history, we can see altogether if we won or if we lost something. So if we add the asset value and the realized part of our assets together, if they are more than the invested amount, this orange line, that means altogether we gained. And this seems to be the case here. Let's conclude this video here. In the next videos, I will show you how you can import all of your transactions in one go instead of inserting them one by one. Until then, take care and bye.